All right, we're back. I promised you guys I would do this tonight, and I'm here because this is where I am interested. Now, again, this is a horrific story all the way around, many victims, extremism, everything you could mix into one. But I am very hopeful that Charles Vallow gets the justice he so deserves. We are going to kind of do a recap of day one opening statements of the Lori Vallow trial. I don't expect there will be many of us because there's a million channels live about this, which that's great. But I want to talk about it from the perspective of the extremism. There's a lot of references with Nephi and Laban. People are not understanding what that's about. There's a lot of interesting things. So we are going to listen to the opening statements by Trina K and by Lori Vallow. And then if we have time, depending on how much we get through, I've also got some things pulled up, ready to go. We'll kind of do some history in the middle of this. There was a few witnesses that testified today, the state's witnesses. I don't know if we'll go through all of that today or not. This will be a wild one. So let's get going. If you're here to hang out and chat, please feel free to engage in the chat and tell me all the things that you guys know, because you guys probably watched this for the last few years unfold on social media too. So let's go. Hey, everybody popping in. We have craziness. Hey, passion for victims. Well, don't let it keep you up tonight. If you need to rewatch or put it in your ear tomorrow, it'll be here. Hey, Aries. Liberty Farmer, Dazed and Amazed, Steph, Julie, Sama, Petunia, Hawkeyes. Hey, Starlight. Hey, Connie. This blows my mind. Did you guys watch the trial? How many of you watched the actual opening statements day one today? I watched majority of it, but I still haven't seen portions of it. So I'm still kind of, I do think I am going to work it into my schedule to try and go down and be in the courtroom a few days. Not this week, probably not next week, but this is anticipated to go on for like 6 weeks. So I will try to get in there where I'm local. And as long as I can maneuver kids and animals, I will be. Sama, you're having a coffee. Hey, Mercedes girl. All right. Did any of you watch it today? Any of you yet? This is, I have followed this stuff through like difficult research and my own independent views and like watching the body cameras and stuff like that for years on end now. And to watch this come full circle and come back to Arizona, and the fact that she is repping herself, it's mind-blowing to me, because I know so many people that covered this like extensively when the kids were missing, and then they don't follow through with like any of the trials or anything. It's just wild to me. Petunia, you watched? Oh, Chico, Lori's repping herself. You follow Kobe? He's a great kid. Dealt a shitty hand with his mom, but ooh, Penguin Mama, former Mormon. You didn't get a chance? Okay, well, we're going to watch it. So what we're going to do, so today kind of started off, today was opening statements. So today started off kind of on a rough foot. So where Lori is repping herself, they have to, like, she wanted to have Brandon, who is married to Melanie, Lori's niece, Brandon Bedreau. They wanted him out of the courtroom. Well, they had to do a whole sidebar situation and confer over that. It took up a bunch of time. So their live stream is on a 30-minute delay. And then, of course, there was all this like back and forth. And how they have to do it is they have microphones and headsets because she can't approach the bench. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So there's all these things. And then they have to play white noise so that people can't understand. It's absolutely wild. But in true Lori fashion, it's the Lori show. It's always going to be the Lori show. Nothing was shocking and is shocking about this. I feel so bad for the victims and their families because this is just one more thing of her learning how to re-victimize her victims. I don't think so, Rocky. Well, as it goes on, maybe, but I don't know. Could be. Your friend wrote a book, The Children of Darkness and Light. Oof. I will say the LDS Church, again, these are offshoot extremists of the LDS, so please don't take this personally, anything we discuss about Mormon beliefs or anything, because this is, again, not typical Mormon beliefs, but they are a whole offshoot of extremists. But they use LDS doctrine and bits and pieces of whatever they want to fit. So again, if we discuss LDS, please do not take it personally or be offended if you are LDS. We are talking about this specific situation and the people who have similar beliefs to this. Oh, to Jennifer, I'm gonna have to check that out. Charles, justice for Charles. That's all. We need to start that hashtag around social media. Justice for Charles Vallow. Okay, so of course it was 6 hours long. So Law and Crime actually did some shortened segments. Thank you, Law and Crime.
So I'm going to need you to stay close.
I'm going to just play some of these and we'll go through and commentate on it. If you have questions, there might be things I can't answer, but I will find out. Hey, Donna. Donna, you did such a good job today. I just wanted to say you did a great job. Hey, Lunatic, you guys make sure you go. Crusha and the girls, Donna, held it down today, are restreaming the trial on Crusha's channel, Difficult Research. Donna hosted today. They did excellent. They were getting updates right from inside the entire time, and it was amazing. Did you hear the extinct dire wolf was brought back? Who's that? Aries. Ooh, Rocky, we should go the same. If we should work it out. Ooh, Nash, I'm in the hole. I'm in the rabbit hole, and it just made me like go pull out all the old body cam footage of everything. And I think what I'm going to do is like do recaps of what happened on the days and then throw in some old like body cam footage of like her statements to police, all of that stuff. I think it's important. Hey, Kathy, ain't got no time for BS. I don't know who you're talking about, Aries, or what that is. Hey, CK. I didn't know. I don't even know what that is. Like actual wolves? Nash, there's so many places. I have a hard time watching trials through anybody, just so you guys know. Nothing against people. Donna did great today. Difficult research. Crusha is, now am I going to screw this up? Kay Woodcock's daughter. So that's where Crusha gets my mind on a lot of this stuff. So I hung out over at Crusha's today and listened to Donna. All right, let's go. So this is going to be the state's Trina K opening statements.
To me the next couple days. Mel too. She can't go to Utah. They're planking some kind of intervention, but want Mel out of the way, so I'm left alone. I need to come get the stuff at your house tomorrow and secure it. Lots to do. Thanks for standing by me. It's all coming to a head this week. I will be like Nephi, I am told, and so will you. Lori,
So Nephi is a prophet.
Lori Daybell, the woman seated over here, wrote this to her brother, Alex Cox, on July 9th of 2019, 2 days before they killed Charles Vallow. But to understand why this is so meaningful, why this is relevant, you have to understand the
Donna, I enjoyed being there with you guys. I'm sure this is extremely emotional for Crusha and all of you guys, because this has been, you guys are like a family over there. And I mean, there is family members over there. So it is, I'm sure it's a lot, but justice for Charles. I'm going to scream it over and over again. The Lori show is going to come to an end, come hell or high water.
context. So let's talk about it. In July of 2019, Lori Vallow was married to Charles Vallow. Lori Vallow lived here in Arizona, Chandler. Charles Vallow lived in Texas. In July of 2019, Lori Daybell was Lori Vallow, married to Charles Vallow. In July of 2019, Lori Vallow wanted to be Lori Daybell, wife of Chad Daybell. And in July of 2019,
Chico, it's actually on par for her. It's actually, Donna, could you say this too? This isn't shocking to me about Lori or anybody that's following it. Oh, Sama, this story, the whole situation, how many people have lost their lives because of this. And if the LDS does not come out and condemn this, and I'm looking at the quorum, if you guys don't get out in front of this and start fucking blatantly condemning this within your church and exiling these people with this extremist offshoot belief systems that are using LDS doctrine, there will be more blood shed over and over again, because there's so many people that believe similar to this that are hiding right under LDS belief systems, and it's bullshit, and the church remains fucking silent. Drives me nuts.
Lori Vallow wanted to keep the same lifestyle that she had with Charles. And she could get all of this if Charles was dead. She could marry Chad Daybell and become Lori Daybell. She would get $1 million life insurance policy from Charles Vallow. She would get social.
Yeah, she thought she was going to get $1 million life insurance policy. Meanwhile, Charles had switched the beneficiary of it. She loves being the center stage. Absolutely. Yeah, Chico, she thinks, again, she's one of the chosen ones. She gets direct messages. It's, yeah, Penguin Mama, they continue to remain silent, They remain silent in the Frankie situation. They remain silent in the Ballard situation. They remain silent in the Thibodeau situation, the child that went missing with the same type of offshoot. Oh, they remain silent here. It's, oof. Oh, you can say whatever you want, Chico.
Security for herself and their son, JJ, as a child of a dead spouse.
Sorry, you guys are going to get to hear me like, just, this will be basically me up here having a normal discussion with you. This is basically going to be like a me and Am text session publicly, because I get to tell you guys what I feel and what I think about all this crap as we go. It's not going to be this professional true crime, like, commentary, anything like that. So don't expect that. We're just a bunch of people with a bunch of opinions that are watching this together, because this has to end. These people did not deserve this, and there needs to be justice for these victims and their families. This has been so many years of pain and suffering, and watching these families be re-victimized, and her smug ass sit there and just zero accountability.
And all of this would be true if Charles Vallow was dead.
Oh, and one other side note. Can I just say how much I fucking love that there is a female prosecutor? A female prosecutor. Lori is intimidated by strong females. And how perfect that it is a female prosecutor, in my opinion.
So what about Nephi? Well, Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell, and Alex Cox all believed that those who disagreed with them were dark, possessed by evil spirits, sometimes called Z's or zombies. Sometimes they had names for these evil spirits, like Ned. Lori, Chad, and Alex used religion.
Zombies and Ned. Ned. I mean, ugh. And again, hats off to these prosecutors, because the amount of research that they had to do to even understand and dismantle, and the investigators, and Nate Eaton, for one. Nate's done an incredible job on these stories. Truly incredible job. Justin Lum here locally, another good one. I do too, Donna. I do too. She's the perfect match.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and a story of Nephi, a prophet, who was directed by the Holy Spirit to
Julie, that's definitely not in the Book of Mormon.
Kill Laban, to obtain brass plates and secure the long-term prosperity of Nephi's descendants. Lori used this religion and the story of Nephi as justification to kill Charles Vallow, just like Nephi killed Laban.
Trying to compare herself to the prophet Nephi, who killed Laban because he was evil.
On July 9th of 2019, Lori Vallow invoked Nephi when she messaged Alex to provide them with that religious authority to kill Charles. After months of trying to get rid of him, they were finally ready to be like Nephi. So how did this begin? We go back to 2018. Lori Vallow met Chad Daybell. You will learn that in November of 2018, that Chad Daybell came to Arizona for a Preparing the People conference.
Okay, how many of you have ever, Donna, I know this will be a yes for you, but how many of you know what the Preparing a People's conferences are? Anybody familiar with that? Anybody watch the deep dives on that? We could do a whole deep dive on that if you guys want to. You can just put a yes or a no, or never heard of it, don't know. Preparing a People was founded by and mostly attended by members of the church, but it was never affiliated with the church in any way. Its teachings were on the fringe of the church beliefs or in outright violation of church teachings. Okay, it was a whole conference. Yes. And it's no affiliation with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but it's that fringe group. Nash Native, me too. Me too. And this is something I don't love this. Let me say that. You guys will hear some excitement in my voice, because this stuff blows my mind and it interests me beyond belief. Like, how do we get here? And just all the different facets of this is horrifying, truly, but it's very intriguing and very interesting to me. So please don't take my giddiness or my excitement or my intrigue and interest in this that I'm accepting or think that any of these people deserved what has happened to them because of these horrific people. These are monsters who used religion to hide behind, to do horrific things to others.
And he and others stayed at Lori and Chad's house. Charles was actually out of town with JJ. Lori and Chad acted as if there was nothing between them, but nothing could be further from the truth. By January of
And the interesting thing, Donna's correct on that, prepper conventions for doomsdayers, almost all LDS end time conferences, there is Ballard connections in with that group too. That's where there's so much crossover with so much of this stuff. Oh, absolutely. Penguin Mama, absolutely. Yes, Kimberly, yes. Okay. Sorry, I got so much to talk. I just want to sit here and talk with you guys.
2019, Lori Vallow claimed that Charles Vallow was possessed by an evil spirit that she called Ned. You will see text
possessed by an evil spirit named Ned. Next thing you know, we're going to have these wackadoos on social media calling us all Neds.
Messages where Lori and Alex refer to him as Ned. During this trial, you're going to hear from some women who initially...
Penguin Mama, have you seen Under the Banner of Heaven on Hulu? If you've seen Under the Banner of Heaven on Hulu, put a 1 in the chat. If you haven't, put a 2. Super interesting. Based on a true story out of Utah. Very interesting documentary, movie, whatever you want to call it. It's an incredible series. Highly recommend.
They were close in Lori's circle. These women will tell you they met her through the Preparing the People conference. They are spiritual women within the LDS church.
Yeah.
And initially they found Lori's spirituality infectious. But the more they listened to Lori, the more they started to find concern with what she was saying. One of
And hi, babe, I know you're listening. Feeding the kids.
them called it red flags. Lori began saying things like she didn't need to repent, that she was beyond that. And you'll hear from these women that that goes against everything that their religion follows. Everyone must repent. You will hear from Serena Sharp that in March of 2019, she attended a girls' weekend with Lori and some other women.
This kind of seems to be something that is very specific in what I've learned too of how they get people into these fringe offset groups is by girls' weekends, guys' retreats. They kind of isolate, which again, in the typical LDS beliefs, there is a hierarchy, a patriarchy for sure. But it seems that that's kind of the entrance into, are you going to follow along or not?
They went to the temple, they had lunch, they did volunteer activities. And then
Yes, Layla.
Lori asked them to do something a little unusual. She told them that her husband was possessed by an evil spirit, and she referred to that as Ned. She told them that Charles was no longer in his body.
Charles was no longer in his body. He was just a host. May, that's a good question. Very good question. Kimberly, because, well, May, to answer that, Lori is more manipulative than dumb. Again, I think she is extremely intelligent in nefarious ways. I hate to say that, but she is Penguin Mama. I'm sure that the last 10 years has been a very hard struggle for you. My heart goes out to you. I have friends that have been doing the same for 10, 20 years themselves. And I know that it's very hard for them. So I can only imagine But this, Kimberly, a lot of people, even LDS followers, say that the second anointing is bullshit. It doesn't happen. Meanwhile, we know it exists. There's been so much of it leaked. Oh, vibrator. That's a tiny little section of what Utah's like too.
She asked them to come together and try to cast out this evil spirit. Serena will tell you that she didn't ask Lori what would happen to Charles.
Tom Harrison.
If that evil spirit went. She only knew that she had said Charles was already gone. She didn't know if he would come back or his body would just die. Later that month, on March 26th of 2019, Alex Cox texted his sister, Lori Vallow, and said, quote, "Ned is still alive, just confirmed." Lori responded, "It's not Ned. It's a new one."
It's not Ned. It's a new one. Revival, enjoy your book. I hope it's a good one this time. Kimberly, I have not watched it yet, but I've heard that it's a great article. Didn't they do a video with it too? Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
Ned is gone. No one has seen him, right? Just talk to him, question mark. Alex said,
hey,
correct. Charles' body is alive.
Crusha, sending you huge hugs. I know this is a lot for you and your family, but if you guys need anything, well, any of you are here, let me know. I'm minutes away and can run anything down to you guys when you're here, and anything, whatever I can do to support and be here for you guys. I'm here. I'm just a phone call away. I'll email you my phone number so you have me if you need anything. If you need rides, if you need anything, I'm here and I will make it work. I'm going to try and come and sit in for a few days. Colby has his own channel too. Thank you for doing everything you do, constantly advocating.
What did you learn? Question mark. And Lori responded, a lot. Still working on it. We'll call you later. As the year went by, Lori and Alex became more determined to get rid of Charles Vallow's body, whatever they wanted to call him.
Whatever way.
You will hear from Christina Atwood that she attended a gathering on June 9th of 2019. Again with Lori and some close friends, but this time Alex Cox attended. This was the first time she had met him. Christina will tell you that she heard Alex say that he just wanted to kill Charles. In fact, she heard him say this a couple times. And she heard Lori say in response that she had been drugging Charles, crushing up JJ's pills and putting them in Charles's protein drinks. Christina will tell you she was so disturbed by this that she actually went and confronted Lori the next day.
Confronted Lori, but didn't go to the police. I'm sorry. There's a lot of frustration for me with some of the people around that were being told very significant things and did nothing.
And told her that if Charles ended up dead,
thank you, Chico,
she would have to go to the police. That's how disturbed she was. Now, Lori, of course, said it was all a joke. What else could she say?
You guys, make sure you're following. We just dropped Crusha's link. It's difficult research. Excellent. She's done excellent work in the Tim Ballard stuff. She's just a great source for information. All of the stuff. She can tell you the ins and outs and the connections between so much of this. It's amazing the way her brain works. She's great. Wonderful.
But 1 month later, Alex and Lori created that situation to be like Nephi and killed Charles. What about Charles? You're going to learn that Charles and Lori had been together for a long time. They had adopted one of Charles's family members' children, JJ. JJ was everything to Charles. JJ was the reason Charles and Lori were still together.
That's it's truly, yeah, yes. That's what's even scarier too, is because there's so many that still have this fringe belief system that believe just like Chad and Lori and Thibodeau and Frankie's and Ballard. Like, there's just so many. Thank you guys for summing up. You guys will really enjoy Crusha. And Donna hosted today and did a wonderful job.
You'll learn that Charles knew about Lori's beliefs, that he was called Nick or Ned or some name.
Hey, Janice.
You'll learn that Charles told a lot of people about this. And on February 26th of 2019, Charles made a big decision. He had $1 million life insurance policy, and his wife, Lori Vallow, had been the beneficiary.
Yeah.
He changed it.
Smart man.
He changed it to his sister, Kay Woodcock. You will learn he did not have to notify Lori about it, and she had no idea. You'll learn that Charles desperately wanted to bring Lori back to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You will learn that he was close with Lori's brother, Adam, and he was reaching out to him during this time period. You will hear from Adam. Adam will tell you that he himself had heard the defendant say things that were outside the LDS religion, that she was translated. Charles was possessed. He knew she was no longer following the LDS faith. Then, June 28th.
Crusha, we also have to get police to understand that there is freedom of religion and freedom to choose religion, but abuse cannot be masked as religious beliefs. Law enforcement need to start taking things seriously when it's involving these fringe type of groups and these belief systems, because a lot of police do not even understand the extensive nature and the danger within this stuff. And they just kind of brush it off. And bishops, going to bishops? No. Go to them for counseling with religion, not serious matters like this.
Charles found out that Lori and Chad were having an affair. You will hear that he reached out to
Do not murder
Lori about it,
yeah.
Chad's wife, and out to Adam Cox about it. Now you're going to...
Of course she is. Of course she is, Crusha. Of course she is. She's going to do anything and everything because she's an entitled bitch. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, your parents have been through, Kay and Larry have been through hell, and they are incredible to continue to use their voices for all of the victims. They are such an example of strong, amazing humans.
You're going to hear about a lot of these things because the police executed numerous search warrants. You're going to hear that they executed search warrants on cell phone records, cell tower records, and iCloud accounts. You're going to learn that an iCloud account is basically a service through Apple.
Hey, Marcy.
Where you can store everything, photos, emails, documents, whatever you want. This can be intentional, or sometimes it can be unintentional. Your phone or your computer may be saving items there without you even realizing it. You'll learn that for years, Lori Vallow had an iCloud account that was loriforstyle@icloud.com. But after Charles learned about Chad Daybell on that June 28th, she created a new iCloud account, lollytime@icloud account. Many of these text messages between Lori and others that you're going to hear about at trial were recovered from those two iCloud accounts. You're also going to learn about Charles's cell phone. The police eventually recovered it, and they were able to extract the data look at the messages and things that had been in there. And you're going to learn about those text messages with Adam Cox from July 9th through the 11th. You're going to hear from Adam that they were talking about an intervention, about maybe recording Lori, saying these things and taking those recordings to the stake president.
To the stake president. I'm speeding her up. If I need to slow it back down, let me know.
Or just confronting the stake president about it. They didn't have an exact plan. But on July 9th, Adam agreed to fly to Phoenix to help try to talk to his sister, talk to the stake president.
Trace, you did excellent today. Excellent today. Hats off to Crush's mods. You guys were amazing. All of you guys did great. I know this is a lot for all of you guys because you guys have all been going through this for years. But again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for continuing to give a voice for the victims and stand beside the family.
Get her back into this faith. Ultimately, Adam flew to Phoenix on the 10th, as did Charles.
Yeah.
Adam will tell you that he actually, when he got his reservation on the 9th from Charles, reached out to his brother, Alex. He asked to stay with him. And Alex said, sure.
She did great.
You'll see phone records. They had a conversation about it. But when Adam flew into Phoenix on the 10th, remember that's after
Yes, Marcy, just go ahead and email me.
That message by Lori that he needed to stay close to her. Adam tried texting his brother. Adam tried calling his brother.
Ugh.
And Alex didn't respond. Adam didn't know that his brother Alex had been summoned to help his sister Lori be like Nephi, that it was time to kill Charles. The text messages from Lori to Alex about that intervention that she knew about and being like Nephi show that by the evening of July 9th of 2019, Lori knew that Charles was trying to have an intervention. An intervention.
Vibrator, there's a lot of crossover between a lot of crime and cults too. Like there really is.
In that text message, remember, she said they are trying to have an intervention. She knew it was Charles and others. She also told her brother he had to stay close for the next couple days because she knew that she was going to be seeing Charles on the 11th when he came over to pick up their son, JJ, to take him to school. She told him it's all coming to a head this week. I will be like Nephi, I am told, and so will you. A few minutes after Lori had texted Alex that message on July 9th that they were going to be like Nephi, Alex called his sister Lori, and they talked for over 56 minutes, planning how they were going to get rid of Charles. Alex would stay close with his gun, and he and Lori would be like Nephi. July 10th of 2019 is a day before Charles was killed. We know from text messages that by 7:18 p.m., Alex was already at Lori's house. He brought a garbage bag with some clothes and an orange duffel bag with his .45 caliber handgun and 2 extra magazines of ammunition. He was prepared.
Yeah, overly prepared.
We also know that the evening of July 10th, Charles sent a message to Lori letting her know that he would be over at 7:30 a.m. the next day to pick up JJ, to take him to school. Lori and Alex knew exactly when this murder would happen and where it would happen. They just had to make sure that Charles stayed in the house. You'll hear that on the evening of July 10th, Charles spent his last night alive on a date. He had been on several dating apps and appeared to be.
It's so hard to get people to understand that too, Crusha. Like everything we, the extremism, when we talk about it, I tried it. Like, yes, there's overlap in certain segments, but it's about these fringe extremists that do horrific things and then hide behind it. But people get really offended. They're like, oh, well, it's my belief. No, everybody's choice is theirs of what they want to believe in. This is not, when it gets to this level, and there's so many that get close to here and they hurt people and abuse people and get away with it, it's not freedom of religion.
Be moving on. You will hear from his date, Nancy Jo, that she and Charles had met on an LDS dating site a few days before. You will hear that she had talked to him and texted him for hours. Sometimes they would talk for 3 hours on the phone.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Nancy Jo will tell you that Charles told her about everything of his relationship, his wife's beliefs, everything that was going on. And he had told her about this change to the beneficiary of his life insurance. She will tell.
Do you guys think Adam was in denial? Do you think he was just giving Charles lip service more so than anything? And just kind of like didn't ever think his sister was really capable of anything? Hey, Kay, it's good to see you. I am feeling much better. Thank you. Thank you. Get some rest. It's so weird to hear this.
Tell you, it sounded like a lot of drama, but she still was interested and wanted to meet this person. And so they met that evening for dinner. She'll tell you that she understood on the 11th that Charles would be picking up his son, that he was actually going to meet a realtor about finding a place to rent here so he could be closer to JJ, and that he was going to try to get in touch with Adam to meet up. And then they were supposed to meet later in the day. She will also tell you that she actually told Charles, kind of joking, but in a way to end the drama, how don't you just tell Lori that you changed the life insurance policy so she knows it's not her? Nancy Jo will tell you the next day, she texted Charles. She called him, and she actually thought he had ghosted her. She didn't know he was dead until a few months later when she saw something on the news, a photo of him, and actually learned that he had been killed on July 11th. So let's talk about July 11th. That morning, Lori Vallow was up early, and she was texting with Chad Daybell. You'll learn that we do not have those text messages. They were not saved in the iCloud, but we have them from the phone records. Alex was already at Lori's house with his gun, and everyone knew that Charles was a punctual person and would be there around 7:30 to pick up JJ so he could get to school.
And I just got to explain, like, I know exactly where this neighborhood is. This is a quiet area of Chandler that they lived in. The house is a beautiful home on a quiet street. It's not a busy area. Chandler is kind of the retirement spot in this area. The way this all...
You're going to learn that, like many people, Charles had left his GPS data locating service on his phone.
Yeah, maybe.
So that means when his phone is moving around, it was constantly documenting with GPS the location of the phone. During this trial, you're actually going to see this data mapped out. You'll be able to see Charles.
Crusha, that's what I thought too, because of the Joe situation. But they continue to, like, the way he was so dismissive, like, he knew they were capable, but it's almost that, like, disconnect. It's almost like watching the Frankie sisters try to disconnect Ruby's. It's the wildest thing for me to see. The wildest shit.
Charles come to the house, and then you're going to see his phone leave with the defendant and what she does all day with it. What we know is that Charles arrived at Lori's house at about 7:35. He texted Adam Cox and told him that Alex, or Al, is here. You'll see from photos that Alex's truck was parked in the driveway. Adam responded, "Really, I wonder why he never called me back."
Nash Native, I do want to go, but I want to go as like a spectator. I'm not an interviewer or anything like that. I just want to go as to watch Lori. I'm so interested in her mannerisms and her behavior and her smugness. Maybe it's because I just want to glare from the back of the courtroom at her. I don't know. I just want to, like, man, she's evil. She's just evil. I don't either, Detective's daughter. I don't either. And that's why it's like, it's so weird to hear things explained about him. Yeah, Mamie, agreed. Yeah, that's, no, just put it there. It's fine.
It's so good.
Okay. Nash Native, you have bailment. That would be, nope, wouldn't do that. National news. What's that? Oh, that there went nonsense flying across the, nope, would never.
Charles didn't respond to that. Adam then texted, "They're planning something." And Charles responded, "Absolutely." Adam told Charles, "I was supposed to spend the
Penguin Mama," and that's why I said when we opened this up, and you said the same, like, if the church doesn't start condemning this and talking about it, these fringe groups within the church that are protected, it's going to continue to be a problem. And they just continue to act like, oh, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Wake up. This is something to see. People are dying. Way too many. Yeah, it's... Hey, Beth. Alma, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Marcy, I will check it when I get off. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. Thank you, Alma.
A night at his house last night, she probably blocked that. Charles told Adam, what you do is up to you. Adam then told Charles he was going to reach out to Alex and ask him to come get him and see what Alex would do.
No.
In fact, he did text his brother.
They won't, because it's that old school mentality. We don't have to talk about it. It doesn't exist. It's not our belief systems. This has nothing to... Bullshit. Bullshit.
You'll learn that Charles read that text message from Adam, but he didn't respond. Adam sent one more text message to Charles at 7:49 a.m. on July 11th. He told him that he and his son were going to go...
Trace on the case I thought about. I'm within minutes. I'm way under 20 minutes from that. The house, unfortunately, Charles was killed at. But I've thought about going over there and showing people like what a peaceful area this is. What a peaceful neighborhood they were in. And just to how nonchalant and careless these people were. It's unreal.
Go play basketball at 8 p.m. to look for a specific church leader who was usually there and have a conversation with him. Charles Vallow never read that message.
Nash Native, thank you for the support. Thank you for being here with me and watching this with me, you guys, and having conversations with me. I'm learning from you guys as we go. Every time Krusha and Donna and the girls are in here, you guys fill my brain with so many different rabbit holes, and then I end up down the rabbit hole and I get stuck in there, and I love every minute of it, but I can't pull myself out.
But you will learn that Lori and Alex did. Charles went to the front door of 5531 South Four Peaks Place, a house that he had rented for his wife, Lori Vallow, a house that he paid for. Charles would have had to knock on the door, alerting Lori and Alex that he was there. He got JJ, put him out in the car. And then Lori Vallow created the reason to keep Charles from just leaving with JJ. Lori Vallow wanted to stop this intervention. Lori Vallow wanted to stop Charles and Adam from trying to take her temple recommend away.
Lori Vallow wanted to silence anybody that was onto her bullshit. And if she couldn't silence them, well, she got rid of them, as we know. Ugh, the woman just makes me freaking cringe. Mimi of 8, thank you so much for the support.
Lori Vallow, who wanted to be Lori Daybell, and Lori Vallow, who wanted Charles's money. So Lori took Charles's cell phone, and she refused to give it back. Lori Vallow, or Lori Daybell, whatever name you want to call her by, is why Charles didn't just leave with JJ that morning. Lori Vallow is why Alex was able to shoot Charles. Lori Vallow is why Charles is dead. So I want to tell you a little bit about the scene, this house, so you can understand what's happening here. When you walk in the front door, there's a big room. It was empty, no furniture. There were mirrors on 2 of the walls, windows on a 3rd wall, and the 4th wall had doorways going into the kitchen and a hallway off to the bedrooms. This is where Charles Vallow was killed. This is where Alex Cox shot him 2 times.
Detective's daughter, agreed. Sign me up all day long.
First shot to Charles Vallow was to his chest. It exited out his back. Charles Vallow fell to the ground. He put his left hand to this wound, and blood transferred onto it. You will hear from the medical examiner that this shot went through his heart.
It is. Trace, it's hard to explain to people that have never been here in this area of like, you know, there's hustle and bustle. Like this is a big area. Chandler's even a big city. Gilbert, Chandler, Queen Creek. All of it's building up so much out here in this like south end of Phoenix. But that area in specific, like there's just, that part of Chandler is my favorite part of Chandler. Absolutely my favorite part of Chandler. Beautiful area.
And that a person can take seconds to up to 2 minutes to die from that type of wound. You will hear that a person can still talk and move after they're shot in the heart.
Do I believe that, Mamie? Yeah. But I also believe that I mean, I don't know how I say this. Yes, difficult. Yes. How do I say this kindly? I think he had no matter which way it goes, they had a hand in it, if that makes sense. Does that? Yeah, that you guys get what I'm saying.
And we know Charles was able to move since he put his dominant left hand on his chest and transferred that blood to his hand. You will see that. As Charles lay on the floor of 5531 South Four Peaks Place, Alex Cox stood at his feet and fired a second shot. That shot entered his abdomen and it exited his left shoulder. The angle was significantly upward. Dr. Baumgartner, who is the medical examiner, will tell you that this wound was shored. You will learn that shored means that there was something hard behind that wound. So when the bullet exited it, it caused a different tearing pattern than the other wound that exited Charles's back. It is this shored wound, this exit on Charles's left shoulder, that shows us that there was nothing accidental about this second shot. You will learn from the cell phone that at 7:49, Lori left Charles's house, or left her house with Charles's cell phone, his wallet, his rental car, and JJ and Tylee. She drove to Burger King, Walgreens, dropped JJ off at school before she and her daughter Tylee drove back to the house. During this time, while Lori is driving around in Charles's
President Ballard, before he passed away, and I believe that, yes, he was elderly, of course, but I believe that the stress of Ballard getting put under fire made his final days very uncomfortable because his corrupt bullshit could have been exposed and should have been exposed on a higher scale. I have zero respect for the bullshit that they helped that man cover up alongside Sean Reyes, the Attorney General of Utah.
His car, his phone. She spoke with her brother Alex twice. The first call was at 7:52 a.m., 3 minutes after she left. The second call was at 8:06 a.m., 17 minutes after she left. You will hear that when Alex and Lori are talking, neither of them had called 911 yet. In fact, you will hear that Alex didn't call 911 until 47 minutes after Lori left. Charles Vallow lay dead on the floor of that house for 47 minutes before he called 911. During this 47 minutes, Alex began staging the scene and making mistakes.
They absolutely failed Charles. Beth, I agree with that. They failed Charles. 100%.
You're going to learn that the police found a bat that was located on the right side of Charles to the north of his head. Like he had been holding it, and when he was shot, it fell, it dropped, it rolled up against one of the walls that had mirrors on it. What you're going to learn that is Alex forgot that Charles was left-handed. In fact, you're going to learn that Charles was a semi-professional baseball player. He pitched and he batted left-handed. So that bat was on the wrong side. Next, you're going to hear about an injury to Alex himself. Lori had told police that Charles hit Alex in the head with this bat before Alex shot Charles. Classic self-defense. But in all cases, we must look at the physical evidence because it doesn't lie.
I appreciate you ladies so much in the chat right now. Thank you guys for hanging out with me as we watch this. I know a lot of you have already seen all this, but thank you for being here and engaging in the chat and teaching us so many things. Y'all, there are some extremely educated women in this chat about how these fringe groups operate, the start of them. The conversation that's going on in the chat is amazing. And like Precious said, educating people and really getting people to understand the dangers that exist within these groups is so important, because we can't normalize this stuff and we remain silent. We can't.
And the physical evidence doesn't have a bias or a memory loss. Sometimes it's the lack of physical evidence.
Hey, Benny.
That doesn't lie. So again, we know that this room where Charles was shot had no furniture, mirrors, 2 walls. You learn that although Lori claimed that Charles hit Alex with that bat and then Alex shot him in self-defense, Alex's gun had no blood transferred on it. Alex was allegedly struck in the head with a bat by a semi-professional baseball player. Doesn't go unconscious, and he never touches that injury. Pulls out a gun, is able to shoot this man twice. And then
His little scratch on the back of the head, his little fucking scratch on the back of his head that should have been alarming. He got hit with a bat and just had a little ding. And that was self-defense. It was self-defense. Oh, as he's sitting on the curb, I just remember that body cam video. Maybe I should pull that up, where he's sitting on the curb. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Then he takes the
Let me go see if I can find it.
gun down a hallway and puts it into a room. Never apparently touching his head or this wound. And again, Lori says that Alex was hit with a bat in this room by Charles. But again, what we don't see is any blood on the floor. Charles strikes Alex in the head with a bat. They're grappling on the ground. There's not a single drop of blood on the ground in that room. There's pooling of blood around Charles as he lay there on the ground. There's not a drop of blood going down the hallway to where Alex put the gun. There's not a drop of blood in the room where Alex put that gun. There's not a drop of blood on the floor in the kitchen where Alex went to go wash his hands. There are no towels, sheets, clothing, napkins with blood on them, where Alex was holding his head and trying to stop this bleeding from this injury. You will see on body-worn camera, Alex Cox, who's on with 911, come out of the house. He will have a phone in one hand and his other hand up, and you will notice that he actually has a pair of sunglasses resting on the top of his head.
I got it. I'm going to throw it in here. Sorry. This is the body camera from East Idaho News. Police called to Charles Vallow's home after Alex Cox shoots and kills him. This is what I wanted to show, because it goes along with what is going on here. Sorry. You know how I am. I like to throw everything in. But I think it's such a good thing for people to remember how this all, it's been years of chaos.
Come out this way, man. You know, no weapons?
No weapons on me.
All right, come on out this way.
Yep.
I'm going to have you have a seat right here on the curb.
Yep. Who else is in the house? No one else is in the house. Okay, just have a seat right there. Yeah. Let's get FD in here.
Yeah.
Have a seat.
18 seats secure. We got the gentleman out. Have fire rolling.
Trigger warning. I'm not sure what's about to be upcoming. Not sure exactly what's all shown in this exact video. So if you need to look away, I'm sure it's all edited, covered up, but just in case. Ooh, Kresha, do you have any podcasts that you would recommend, like listening podcasts? Am can't really watch. videos, but any podcasts that have done a good job on this entire situation. If you guys have anybody in the chat, if you have any recommendations. Yeah. Blurred though, Mamie. It's blurred, correct? Hey, Dutch. Hold on, let me zoom over it. Okay, so I'm going to skip forward because it's blurred, but I mean, these are all publicly available, but just for the sake of everybody.
Hey, team, we got one subject down. Apparent gunshot wounds in the chest.
I'm going to pause it just in case because I don't know where he's going to pan. Give me a second. Let me make sure. Okay, I think we're okay. This is on East Idaho News on YouTube, so just in case anybody needs to know.
He's right here in the living room. Firearm's going to be in the front door, in the front bedroom, laying on the ground next to a case.
Sorry, guys, I skipped a portion because it looks like it's blurred, but just in case, this is a lot as is, so I just skipped through that. Sorry, I was muted.
Did you get the guy inside's name?
No, I haven't got it. Charles is the husband of the occupants here. But I guess he lives where?
Self-defense, has a little tiny wound.
You know his date of birth? He's from Houston.
Yeah. Is this vehicle here? How did he get here?
Is it here from Texas?
When he pulls that white napkin away from his head, you can see. I mean, there's hardly anything on it.
No, that's my sister's car. I think he came in a rental car. I think my sister's in it. I think your sister's in a rental car?
One Paul 18. The subject that's been shot is.
Oh, and Difficult Research has a YouTube channel, and she does deep dive stuff on all of this. Amazing content. He's going back in the house. Let me go back. I don't want to show. Okay, there it's blurred, but sorry, I know today has been a lot for a lot of people as is. I think that's the last time they show Alex.
See, anything of interest, just throw cards on it so we can remember to.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking for like a fucking wallet or something that's got this guy's. Yeah, something, because we got nothing, man.
Yeah, we'll probably.
You got Fucking Alex sitting out there. You got nothing? Yeah. Ooh, this pisses me off.
You will see at some point, Alex sits down and they ask him to move to another location. They talk to him for a while, and then you'll see him eventually touch his head a few times, and then he obtains a napkin or towel, something. And you'll see him at times rubbing his head, patting it. That is the only bloody item you will see. Those sunglasses on Alex's head. He is struck in the head by a baseball player.
You and I, you might forget, Crusha and I, because there's been so long, her and I were both in the similar like mindset of the Ballard stuff. I think you would remember, but it's been a long time since I've done that type of stuff. So
While grappling on the ground, he then pulls out a gun and shoots his brother, puts away this gun, deals with his injury, and yet those sunglasses are still right there on the top of his head. No blood on the floors, no blood on the gun, no damage to the mirrors, bad on the wrong side. The lack of physical evidence to help support this self-defense claim. Next, trajectory. The medical examiner will talk to you about the trajectory through Charles's body. The detectives are going to talk to you about the trajectory through the room. Dr. Baumgartner.
Absolutely, Bobby. Just what we did see though, him sitting on the curb, nonchalant, he just shot Charles, and he's just sitting there with a white napkin, dabbing the back of his head with his little scratch, but shot this man in self-defense. Just makes me fucking livid. Excuse my French. Unlike a lot of the channels you guys follow with this stuff, I cuss like a truck driver. So apologies in advance. I say all the things that everybody shouldn't say, but I say them all. So there's that. Oh, Am, you will love Crusha. You will love Crusha. Tinfoil. I do watch, I watch mostly Dr. John's breakdowns. I do follow Lauren. I like when Dr. John is on there. Their interview last night with Colby was great. I also like, is it Alicia Greenfield?
Partner will tell you that the trajectory of that first shot to Charles, the one that went through his chest, through his heart, and out his back, was front to back and slightly downward. It will be less than an inch downward. The detectives will tell you that the bullet from that shot, actually, as it exited Charles's back, ended up across the room in the baseboard. They pulled it out and recovered it. Both of them will say that this shot is consistent with Charles being standing upright with a person in front of him.
Trace, that's what I adore about Crusha. She goes all in and can unravel the connecting pieces, because so many people don't believe that there's so many connecting pieces to a lot of these cases in the social media spotlight. There's so many things that, and people refuse, people still tout Ballard as a fucking hero. And that man, in my opinion, is a straight up monster.
The gun could be slightly down, or his hand could cause that little bit of downward angle. Dr. Baumgartner will tell you that that second shot that entered Charles's abdomen and exited his left shoulder, that the trajectory of that shot was front to back and significantly upward, 13 inches upward. Dr. Baumgartner is also the one who will tell you about that shored wound. What you will hear from the detectives, though, is that when they found Charles on the ground, off to the side of his left shoulder was the other bullet on the ground, not embedded. They'll also tell you that when they finally...
Lindsay, I watch Crusha oftentimes to go to sleep at night. And not that she puts me to sleep, but this is the stuff I enjoy. I put her in my ear. Kenzie says, that's weird. I do, because she dives so deep into this shit. And I'm like, oh, somebody gets my brain.
Moved Charles. They took his body away. They cleaned up the blood on the ground. And they noticed a defect in the flooring, in the wood, consistent with a bullet striking the ground. That defect was located where Charles's left shoulder had been. You will hear that both Dr. Baumgartner and the detectives found the trajectory. The wounds were consistent with Charles laying on the ground Alex being at his feet when that second shot was fired. The physical evidence does not lie. Charles was on the ground when Alex Cox fired that second shot. The injuries to Charles, the location of the bullet strikes, the trajectory of the injuries both in Charles and in the house all show this was not self-defense. This was a staged murder scene.
Sure was.
I told you that Lori Vallow left the house at 7:49 a.m., and we know this because of Charles Vallow's cell phone. The 911 call was placed at 8:36 a.m., 47 minutes later. The police arrived at 5531 South Four Peaks Place at about 8:41 a.m. Lori Vallow and her daughter Tylee returned to the house at 8:48 a.m.
Poor Tylee. Like, oh, the visions of glory. Have you guys seen the people on here? I know Crusha has, and I'm sure her girls has, the Crusha crew has, but the ladies that read the chapters, I think I played a stream with one of those ladies a while back. Maybe I should pull that stuff out because that shit's interesting as hell. And how convincing they are when they're reading that. It's unfreaking real. Hey, PJ.
When the police first contacted Lori Vallow, they thought she had no idea that her husband was dead, that he'd been shot and killed. Initially, you will see body cam footage of an officer going up and just getting her information.
Crusha, I remember when Blaze went missing. I don't even remember who told me about it first. But somehow I learned about him being missing, and then the connecting pieces and the belief systems. And thank goodness he was found, and police acted swiftly on that, because I believe that would have been the whole Davidic servant piece that people don't understand. Like, there's so much to this.
Lori doesn't ask, why are all these police here? Why is
Other
there a
ladies
fire truck
than you.
here? Why is my brother sitting on the ground
Let me go find it, Lindsay, while I'm thinking about it really quick. While we're watching this, I'll go find it.
over there? Is he okay? Instead, she comments about her neighbors. You'll learn that the police then pulled her aside
Hey,
to do what they
Terry.
call a death notification, to let her know that her husband was dead. Only to their surprise, she told them she knew she was there. So at this point, the police knew they needed to take her to the police station and question her. You'll learn that Lori Vallow was interviewed by the police. She was treated very kindly. The police asked her what happened. Lori Vallow told the police that she took Charles's cell phone. She admitted that she was the reason that Charles didn't just leave and take JJ to school. She told police in no uncertain terms that Charles was demanding his phone back, and she refused to give it back. She told the police that even as Charles screamed at her for his phone, she walked away from him, wouldn't give it to him. No matter what happened or what Charles said or did, she would not give his phone back to him.
Lindsay, I got it. Sorry, I'm over here reading mostly your guys' comments because, and this is just mind-blowing to me. My brain is so scattered right now with all the different pieces of this. But this is what I'm talking about. And the channel is called Latter-day Media, Come Follow Christ. Visions of Glory, book review, Sisters of Liberty. Chapter 1. Yeah. And there's other ones too.
Lori told police that her daughter, Tylee, came out of the room during the screaming with a bat. That Charles took it away from Tylee. Tylee fell on the ground.
Oh, they're
She told Tylee to
fangirls.
go out to the car
Yeah.
with JJ. She still didn't return the phone. She told police that Alex came out, that he and Charles got into this scuffle with the bat, that Charles hit him in the head with the bat. She still didn't give Charles back the phone.
Tom Harrison.
What she did instead was take his phone and go around that wall into the kitchen. Left the situation. Time to let brother Alex be Nephi. While she's in the kitchen, she said she heard the gunshot, came out, saw Charles on the ground and her brother standing at Charles's feet. Then she told the police she left.
Yeah, she left just casually. She just left. You know, I just left. Who the fuck? Hindsight. Agree. And this is why, like right here, this is a great example of why I continue to scream that the Mormon church needs to disavow. They need to make a statement. They need to come out swinging, because this whole Latter-day media, come follow Christ, Visions of Glory, book review by Sisters of Liberty. No, no. Tom Harrison. No. No.
You'll learn that the police actually had no idea that Lori still had Charles's phone, even when they're interviewing her. She
Yeah.
still had it. Police are processing the house, looking for it. Where is it? I can't find it. Later in the afternoon, you'll hear that the police actually called Lori and Alex and asked them to come back to the scene. And when Lori arrived, they told her they couldn't find Charles's phone. And she told the detective that she found the phone in the car. Found it in the car.
Mm.
She gave Charles's phone to Detective Enclan and then provided her with Charles's PIN number to get into the phone.
How many of you in my chat right now have been to the general conference from the LDS church? I know there's a couple of us that have been. I went 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years ago. Kyle and I attended general conference. How many of you have been to an LDS general conference? And you won't get shamed. That's not what it's just a whole different, it's a whole different ball game than what I even anticipated. It just happened. Yep. Huh. Yeah. He should have gone into hiding a long time ago. You have. Is it just a few of us? 30 years ago, you left early on. It's like a NFL Super Bowl. I'm not even joking. There's people outside like trying to buy tickets off of you. We were invited, Lindsay. They were trying heavily to recruit Kyle and I because we have 2 girls that are disabled, and that seems to be kind of I don't want to say a target, but yes, kind of. We did love the people we went with. We absolutely have a wonderful relationship with them. They were great, but it was the bishop that gave the tickets for us to go.
You'll learn that after those interviews in the morning.
Yeah, I hate to say it that way because, again, it offends people that are just good, faithful Mormons and don't understand the whole extremist bullshit, but it is absolutely a target. Just like they wanted to bring our girls in for young women's and have them meet with the bishop. They wanted us to do all of that. And I was like, hell no, 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 no.
Lori and Alex went back to Alex's house in Sandham. And there they went through Charles's phone. You'll learn that Alex actually took photos of some of the messages between Charles and Adam.
Oh, body, meet, Kresha. Kresha, meet body. Body is from the Netflix show Don't Fuck with Cats. Kresha is Kay Woodcock's daughter. You guys will enjoy each other's amazing brains.
Including Adam's flight reservations. And he later sent those to his sister, Lori. July 11th. Lori didn't tell any of Charles's family he was dead.
I try to preface that all the time, Kresha, that like this is not, we're talking about these extremists, these fringe groups that exist. We are not talking about the typical LDS believing. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the other groups within that exist, but we have to talk about it because unfortunately people that they love are being hurt and so many people are losing their lives.
She didn't tell Adam.
And
Charles
abuse
was
is
dead.
being covered
She
up.
certainly knows they'd been talking. The next day, Lori texted Charles's sons from his prior marriage and told them, "Your dad is dead."
You like my introduction there? Sorry, guys. I'm like, hey, here's here. Who's here? There's just some brilliant minds in the comment section. Kimberly's in here. Donna's in here. There are some brilliant minds in this comment section right now. I'm amongst really intelligent people right now. So I feel kind of like, here, let me introduce you guys to go follow each other because the way your guys' brains work amazes me.
Charles's sons reached out to their Aunt Kay about this, and you'll learn that Kay and her husband had to Google this, see if it was true. They
I
found
hope
out
he does.
that Charles had been shot.
It's called networking, right? Yes.
So what about the money?
We need breaking chains in here too. Another great mind. I'm hoping that throughout she does difficult. That's one thing I was thinking too. Like, but again, maybe she will lean in more.
Life insurance policy. Charles Vallow had $1 million life insurance policy. When he got it, his wife, Lori Vallow, was the beneficiary. We know that Charles died on a Thursday, July 11th. That next Monday, July 15th, Lori Vallow called Banner Life Insurance. The call was recorded and you'll hear it. She told the agent that Charles had been accidentally shot. It was an accident. And that she was the beneficiary.
Babe, we were talking about brilliant minds. And here you come saying Contonio is here and spelling your own alt name wrong. Kyle's here. Can't spell his own alt name right. But there's Kyle.
Both of those statements are not correct. There was nothing accidental
I love
about
you,
that
babe.
shooting, and she was not the beneficiary. 3 days later, on July 18th, Lori Vallow learned that she was not the beneficiary. Banner Life Insurance could not and would not tell her who Charles had changed it to.
Uh-huh.
But Lori was angry about it. And you're going to learn that on July 18th of 2019, there's another very important text message in this case.
Babe, question, because we were just talking about this. Why do you think that you and I were invited to go to General Conference? I said recruitment tool. They really were interested in bringing our girls into Young Women's Club, growing their membership. What do you think that that's correct?
The first one on July 9th between Lori and Alex when they discussed being like Nephi. And on July 18th, 7 days after Lori and Alex killed Charles and Lori learned she is not getting $1 million life insurance policy, she sends a message to Chad Daybell. Quote, "So I talked to the insurance company. He changed it in March. So it was probably Ned before we got rid of him. You can't tell me who, of course, but it's done. I'll still get $4,000 a month from SS."
Listen to this. Listen, I mean, just the plotting. And yes, we've heard some of this before. But she really, just like they were thinking about doing to Brandon. All
In this
about
text
money.
message, Lori tells Chad that it was probably Ned, that evil spirit inhabiting Charles's body, that changed the life insurance policy before they got rid of him, before
Right.
they killed him.
Right.
After Lori found out that she was not the beneficiary, she was so angry that she actually went through Charles's laptop, found the beneficiary change form, sent photos of that to Chad. And she also confronted Kay about it. The $1 million she had expected to get was gone. But as Lori told Chad on the 18th, she was still going to get money for the death of Charles. Lori knew already that a month before going to see Social Security, how much money she would get for JJ and for herself as a caregiver as a result of Charles being killed.
Ooh. I did. Yes, I have watched those. That would be something. When this is over again, I hope you do more of those types of, you've done such great work on all of that. There's so many people, and I love, oh my goodness, what am I, who's the reporter? Why is it's slipping my brain right now? Give me 1 second.
$4,000 a month.
I wish he would do a whole entire piece on all of these connecting. Lynn Packer, Lynn, I wish Lynn would do a piece connecting all of the dots within all of these groups.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evidence in this case is going to show you that Lori Vallow, Daybell, conspired with her brother, Alex Cox, to kill her husband, Charles Vallow. When Charles let Lori know he was coming into town, she quickly got the pieces into place.
Ooh, that would
Alex
be fun.
came to her house with a gun. Lori created the way to keep Charles inside the house so that Alex and she could be like Nephi. To kill Charles Vallow to better at least her life so she could be with Chad and she could live off that life insurance policy.
Amber and I'm in I'm south of Phoenix.
As we go through this trial, you will see photos of Charles's injury, photos of the crime scene, and hear testimony that will prove that this was not
I'm within about 20 minutes of this where Charles was murdered.
self-defense. As we go through this trial, you'll be provided with phone calls, emails, text messages, and hear testimony that lays out the motive for this murder, money, and Chad Daybell. You will see text messages and hear from people who Lori trusted and who were later pushed away, people who really don't want to be part of this trial, but were pulled into it by this defendant and her desire to get rid of Charles to be with Chad. People who heard Lori for months saying Charles was gone, possessed. People who will establish that this murder was premeditated. You will hear text messages from July 9th by Lori to her brother, Alex Cox, that he had to stay near her, that it was all coming to a head, and she would be like Nephi, and so would he. A justified killing, just like the prophet. And later, the text message to Chad where she told him that Charles changed the life insurance policy before they got rid of Ned. A confession by Lori of how religion and money.
Well, and then with the Masons, you have the Jesters, that offshoot there, which are basically an exclusive, a group within a group, a cult within a cult, basically a sex cult, in my opinion.
Money were twisted to justify Charles's murder. At the end of this trial, the state will come to you and ask you to hold the defendant responsible for the death of Charles Vallow and find her guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Trina K, the prosecution side. Now we're going to switch gears. They clipped it out on Idaho News. We're going to watch Lori's opener. Thank you all once again for joining me and just venting with me about this. We'll probably just do these in the evenings and kind of do a wrap up of like the important things over the day. Yes, there was some state witnesses that were called today. Maybe we'll touch on that tonight if we have time. If not, we'll do it tomorrow. I also want to throw in, as we're doing some of these recaps, I might take us back and show, like, we might talk about some of the things that came out during the trial, because you guys know I'm a nerd. And then we might pull it back to like some of the body cam footage. I've got her initial interview with the police department and what she initially told them that I think would be a good thing to go and rewatch for people to hear what she said then versus what she's going to say in trial. The fact that she's a mess. But here we go.
All right, the defendant can proceed with her opening statement.
Yeah, the Jesters is a whole different group. A lot of mostly white, wealthy men in powerful positions. Not all, but some. It's an invite only, pay to play, prostitution. They have whole entire like hotel parties in Vegas. Crusha, I'm glad that you're here. And I know this is going to be a lot of stress for you the next couple weeks, especially being there to support your mom and Larry. And if there's anything we can do, seriously, anything, I will be there tomorrow. as you guys do this. Donna did a great job today. Your mods were wonderful. Trace did a great job. You guys join us over on Difficult Research. Seriously, the group is amazing. Very, very wonderful humans with great conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I have been.
Okay, can I just right off the bat say fuck you, Lori? I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. Did you see that smug, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? That sigh with the smug face? This, ooh.
In charge of the crime,
I need her to turn around so I can see the brow.
a serious crime. And the only question here is, did I commit this crime? Conspiracy. Conspiracy is an agreement between two or more people to commit a crime. Okay, so you see, okay. There has to be an agreement. There has to be a plan. The evidence in this case will show that Charles Vallow and I got married in February 2006. It will show that it was my fourth marriage and Charles' third marriage.
Okay, the tone of her voice, is it just coming off? Trace, are you still in here? Is the tone of her voice just coming off weird because it's being streamed? Or was it weird in the courtroom? I do too, Emma. I do too. The fallen Botox. She absolutely tinfoil. She loves it. Detective stuff. Hindsight. Oh, Bob. This is Lori Vallow, who married Chad Daybell. Doomsday mom. Monster of monsters.
At that time, we each had two children. I had Colby, who was 9, and Tylee, who was 3. Charles had Cole, who was also 9, and Zach, who was 7. The evidence will show that our family moved from Austin, Texas to Chandler, Arizona in 2009. The evidence will show that Charles and I adopted our great-nephew, JJ, who was born in 2012. It will also show that Charles and I were married for over 13 years and were raising 5 children. The evidence will show that I was a licensed cosmetologist and worked as a hairstylist for 20 years while we lived in Austin, Texas.
Me. What a wonderful person I am.
The evidence will show that Charles was a licensed life insurance salesman and worked as an independent contractor, selling life insurance policies and annuities, and owned his own business.
Charles basically kept the family afloat.
The evidence will show that Charles and I purchased life insurance policies early in our marriage, and Charles had them issued to the maximum amount possible to
She really has to get that in there about the life insurance right off the bat.
each of us. The evidence will show that Charles was 17 years older than me, and that because of Charles' age and an issue that he had with high blood pressure, the maximum amount of life insurance that could be approved for Charles was $1 million. The maximum amount of life insurance that I could be approved for because of my age and my health was $2 million. The evidence will show that throughout our 13-year marriage that we...
And Lori had, nothing to do with wanting these policies, right? Nothing to do with it. Charles, I can't even.
Always had life insurance policies. When a 10-year policy lapsed, Charles would shop for another company who would approve us for the maximum amount of life insurance. The evidence will show that this was Charles' job. This is what he did. I helped him in this business, and this is what he did. The evidence will show that in 2016, Charles repurchased a new $2 million life insurance policy on me, and he was the sole beneficiary.
I love the disconnect here that she's attempting. Charles did this. Charles did that. I get exactly what you're saying. Yeah, tinfoil, I'm with you too.
The evidence will show that Charles and I had a happy marriage for 13 years.
Oh, did you? Unfortunately, he's not alive to combat this misinformation. But if it was so happy, then why did he have to be murdered?
That he was, in fact, a baseball player, and that he played high school, college ball, and AAA ball, and that he was, in fact, a left-handed pitcher, a southpaw, they call him, but he was a right.
Hey, yes, Kate. That's why I'm so invested in this, because she's fucking it's the Lori show. I'm telling you, this is her stage, and she is trying to manipulate and sway the public perception of her. The little meek voice, the way her hair is done, the glasses, everything about this. It's all the Lori show. We're just here to watch the Lori show. Oh, she makes me fucking sick.
Right-handed batter, as could be attested to by anybody who knew Charles well and his high school baseball coach, Greg Davis. The evidence will show that Tylee was, and in 2014, our family moved from Chandler, Arizona to Kauai, Hawaii. We lived there for 3.5 years and returned to Chandler in
Trace, I could not believe my ears. So my sister did time in Idaho State Prison, and I was questioning at times if they were going to end up in the same place. Thankfully, my sister's out, but this bitch is so delusional, and anybody around her, again, it's that charismatic, cultivating she's fucking dangerous. Now she's in Arizona and has been for quite a while.
2017. The evidence will show that Tylee was 3 years old when Charles and I got married, and that when she became a teenager, the relationship between Tylee and her stepfather, Charles, became so difficult that Tylee and Charles had to seek a therapist, a family therapist, to stop them from fighting. The evidence will show that together, Charles and Tylee met with this therapist after we moved back to the mainland in 2017. The evidence will show that in April of 2018, Tylee's biological father passed away from a heart attack. And at that time,
oh, really? Really? Is that what it was there, Lori?
Charles called Social Security and made an appointment at the Social Security
I'm
office.
object to hearsay.
Charles did all of this. Oh.
Sustain.
It will
Oh, poor Lori got cut off.
show that we did get Social Security for Tylee for her deceased father until she was 18 years old, and she was 15 years old at the time. The evidence will show that Charles and Tylee's fighting increased greatly in January of 2019 when Charles and I temporarily separated. The evidence will show that several people witnessed these terrible arguments between Tylee and Charles that increased to physical in 2019. Charles and Tylee had major increasing arguments, 2 in February of 2019, 1 of March in 2019, which was captured on video, 1 in May of 2019.
What the fuck? Oh, Krusha. Jesus.
1 in June of 2019, and then the worst of all in July 2019. The evidence will show that in March of 2019, Charles pulled JJ out of his special school and moved him to Houston, Texas, while we were temporarily separated. Tylee and I then joined Charles and JJ in Texas in April 2019 to reconcile. The evidence will show that JJ was diagnosed with severe autism when he was 3 years old while we lived in Hawaii. The evidence will show that for 2 years, JJ was attending a school in Gilbert, Arizona, a special school for children with autism. It's called Lauren's Life Academy. The evidence will show that in June of 2019, in JJ's best interest, Tylee, JJ, and I moved back to Chandler, Arizona to re-enroll JJ back in Lawrence Life Academy since he had a difficult time with the Houston, Texas schools with no services for his autism.
No services. No services. Bullshit. Bullshit. Maybe not as good, but I don't think that's the reason why. I love how she's putting this off on Where is Lori taking part in any of this shit? She disconnects herself from everything. Every single thing is somebody else. How did he just not have services at all in Texas? Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I don't even know what this is. The Lori, like everybody else, not Lori.
The evidence will show that Charles and I agreed it was in JJ's best interest to be in school where more services were available to him. So Charles and I rented a house here in Chandler. On the day in question.
And not just any house, any gorgeous, immaculate home. Selfish bitch.
July 11th, 2019, Charles and I were renting two houses, one in Houston, Texas, where he mainly resided, and one in Chandler, Arizona, where I resided with our two minor children, Tylee and JJ. By this time, our three older boys, Colby, Cole, and Zach, were adults and not living at home any longer. The evidence will show that during the months of June and July, that my husband, Charles Vallow, began to send me threatening text messages.
Oh, no, she's not. See, I didn't make it through all of this part because, oh, no, she's not. I knew this was going to be, I knew. Hey, Angel. Hey, Cupcake. Cupcake, this is a wild one. This is an absolutely horrific, wild. Oh. Hey, Lady K. Yeah. Always groovy, right?
These messages were seen by my sister Summer, and that worried her. The evidence will show that Charles insisted on flying.
These messages were seen by my sister Summer, and they worried her. They are terrible. Really, Kimberly, that's scary to know. I know it's gotten bad in the last few years, but this is wild. So, Pressure, I love that you can just cut loose. Babe, she's an attorney these days. She's a murderer and an attorney now, representing herself. Look at how good she is.
Flying into Phoenix on July 10th, as we've heard from the state. The evidence will show that I advised Charles that he could not stay with us at the Chandler house.
No, ma'am, let's just say what the evidence is going to show, that you fucking plotted and premeditated a murder of Charles alongside many other people. You helped premeditate a plot to kill Charles alongside JJ, Tylee. Oh,
because he could not get along with
attempted to kill Brandon.
Tylee, and I did not want them to get into another fight like they had 3 weeks prior. The evidence will show that it was ultimately decided between Charles and I on text messages that he would stay in a hotel because he traveled for business all the time and stayed in hotels all the time, and that I would book it for him since I worked for him and booked all of his travel. The evidence will show that Charles did, in fact,
72 days. 72 days. Wasn't Charles predominantly JJ's caregiver too?
fly into Phoenix on Wednesday, July 10th, and stayed in the hotel that I booked for him. The evidence will show that Charles paid to fly my brother Adam Cox into Phoenix from Kansas on the same day, Wednesday, July 10th, 2019. The evidence will show that Charles planned to come to our Chandler home and pick up JJ and drive him to school on Thursday morning, July 11th, 2019.
Oh, the disconnection here. What is happening?
The evidence will also show you that Lauren's Life Academy opens its gates at 8:25 a.m. in the morning. And the evidence will show that Charles showed up at our Chandler residence around 7:30 in the rental car I booked for him on the morning of Thursday, July 11th, 2019. The evidence will show that Charles began texting with my brother, Adam Cox, before he entered our residence. And that Charles and Adam were discussing in their text communications that my other brother, Alex Cox, was at the residence. The evidence will show that on the morning of July 11th, that Tylee was asleep in her room and my brother Alex was asleep in the guest room.
Oh. Oh. Right, Terry? I'm over here like, don't say all the words. Don't say all the words.
The evidence will show that when Charles entered the house,
It's day one.
only JJ and I were awake and present.
Lying bitch.
The evidence will show that after we put JJ in the rental car, that Charles came back into the residence to receive his phone, leaving JJ in the front seat of the rental car with the engine running. He was 7 years old. The evidence will show that Charles began to scream at me
And now he's deceased because of you.
when I refused to hand him his
And you're fucking sick. Sick fuck. Chad Daybell.
phone. The evidence will show that Charles screaming woke up Tylee and Alex. The evidence will show that Tylee came out of her room with a bat to protect me, her mother, from her stepfather, Charles Vallow.
Oh, hell no. You guys were right.
The evidence will show that Tylee and Charles fought over the bat,
And the crying on cue.
and that after a struggle over the bat, Tylee fell onto the ground. And Charles lifted up the bat to hit Tylee with the bat. The evidence will show that Alex then intervened to protect Tylee from being hit with the bat.
Oh.
He did not have a gun. He was not wearing a shirt. He was pulling up his jeans because he just woke up and came into the room where he heard the screaming.
You fucking. Kimberly, we struggled in Utah for our girls too. Yeah. Hey, Jim. Crush, I can't even imagine. That's why, if there's anything you guys need, seriously, I don't care if they need a Diet Coke rushed to them outside. Just call me. I'm a little ways away with traffic, but I will get there. Whatever I can do to help. This is years of this that your family has been going through, and there's nothing that we can do to take it away. But if there's anything we can do to support, we are here.
The evidence will show that Alex and Charles got into a physical struggle for the bat and fell onto the ground. The evidence will show that Tylee, who was on the ground, was lifted up by me and sent outside to get away from the struggle and to protect JJ, who was still in the running car, in the rental car in the driveway.
Oh, the next thing we need to fucking watch is her interview with police. That is you suck of shit.
The evidence will show that after the struggle on the ground between Charles and Alex, that Charles prevailed with the bat and began to come towards me with the bat as I ran away from him into the kitchen.
Oh,
The evidence will
the forever fucking victim, Lori.
show that at some point while I was running away from Charles, who was chasing me with the bat, that Alex apparently retrieved his gun.
Yeah, Crusho, there's a bunch of us in here. that are creators. We have you guys. If there's anything we can do, we are here for you guys.
The evidence will show that I ran outside to the children and that Alex shot Charles in self-defense. The evidence will show that Tylee and I had both run outside without shoes. The evidence will show that JJ was still in the front seat of the rental car with the engine running and struggling to get out of the car. Tylee was trying to keep him in. The evidence will show that Tylee and I got into the rental car with JJ and drove away.
Yeah. Cupcake, yes. She's been sentenced in Idaho. This is for Charles, is what she's in court for right now and representing herself for. This is opening statements that happened today.
The evidence will show you that I drove the children away from the residence towards JJ's school.
Good night, Kay. Get some rest. Thanks for being here. Oh,
Grab a
here we
tissue.
go.
Yep.
Gotta have a tissue. Oh, man, she looks like a Shar-Pei. Oh, Lori, that Botox is failing you. Yeah.
The evidence will show that I drove the children through the Burger King drive-thru that Charles had promised JJ. The evidence will show that we continued to drive towards JJ's school and that the gate was not yet open at JJ's school. So we drove a block west of the school to a Walgreens where I ran in to purchase flip-flops for Tylee and myself so that we could walk JJ into school on the hot pavement.
Oh, ho, ho. Oh, Lord. Yes, Elizabeth, difficult research. Her mod Trace was there today. I'm not sure who all is local and going or will be coming in for the case or anything like that, but there's a lot of people that are there in the courtroom. Today, the girls, Donna hosted today on difficult research for Crusha. Excellent breakdown. They were getting information right from the court as it was going. I mean, it was just great. They did a wonderful job today. Those ladies really do a great job. The support and the rallying around Crusha and her family, Kay, Larry, the extended family is amazing.
The evidence will show that Tylee and I returned directly to our residence where we met with police in our driveway. The evidence will show that we were spoken to by the Chandler police officers. And the
Evidence is going to show you're a lying fucking bitch that premeditated murder on Charles. Carry on.
evidence will show that Tylee and I were told by the Chandler police detectives that Charles had passed away.
And you carried on with your fucking day. That's no big deal, right? Plan.
The evidence will show that we were put into a police van and driven to the Chandler Police Department. The evidence will show that Alex was taken by police in a police car to the Chandler Police Department, and that we were all three separated into interrogation rooms and we were each interviewed.
Oh, yes, you were, bitch, and we've got all of that.
The evidence will show that next, Tylee and I were brought back together into a room at the Chandler Police Department and were introduced to a victim's advocate.
Oh. Tylee didn't deserve any of the shit you put her through.
Who was very kind to us.
Hey, Emily.
The evidence will show that after speaking to the victim's advocate, that Tylee, Alex, and myself were put back into the police van and driven back to our residence. We
do have some amazing people in this chat tonight, truly. Some amazing creators and advocates and people who really do the right thing. I am proud to stand beside all of you.
directed by the Chandler detectives to take the rental car and return later to the residence after we picked up JJ from school. The evidence will show that we did as instructed by the Chandler detectives. The evidence will show that we drove to Alex's residence where we attended to the wound on the back of his head. The evidence will show that Alex was then contacted by the Chandler detectives to return to the residence so that Alex could walk them through the events that occurred with the detectives at the residence. The evidence will show that Alex, Tylee, and I did return to the residence as instructed. And the evidence will show that Alex entered into the residence with Detective Moffett, but that
Okay, I gotta just point out, can you imagine having to be the attorney that sits beside her and deals with all of her bullshit, the games, the antics? I feel for that person. I really feel for that person that has to sit beside her and help her through this.
Tylee and I were met by Detective Inkland in the front yard. The evidence will show that at the time, Detective Inkland asked Tylee and myself if we had Charles' cell phone.
NorCal, I just went and pulled up the body cam footage of when he's sitting on the curb. He's got a white cloth and he's dabbing it. Yeah, it's a little bit blurred, but you can see as he's pulling the white cloth off of tamping or like hitting the back of his head. Head wounds, like you said, they bleed horrifically. There's blood everywhere. There was just a little scratch, but it was self-defense, right? Oh.
Tylee retrieved Charles' cell phone from the rental car and gave it to Detective Inkland at 3:11 p.m. on July 11th, 2019. And at that time, Charles' phone was placed in the custody of Chandler police detectives. The evidence will show that Detective Inkland asked us if we knew the passcode on Charles' phone, which Tylee proceeded to give to Detective Inkland. The evidence will show that Tylee and I left the residence to pick up JJ from school, while Alex remained at the residence with the detectives. The evidence will show that by the time Tylee, JJ, and I returned to the residence, that all police, EMS, CSI, and detectives were gone from the residence and only Alex remained. The evidence will show that the next...
Well, yeah, I don't know if a book deal, though, would be worth having to sit by this bitch and her horrific fucking manipulative. I don't think there ain't no amount of money that could ever make me want to sit by this bitch. Well, give me a couple minutes with her. Oh, she's just this one has. And Yaka, I have wondered about that. They're obviously not letting her get her Botox, though. She's looking Sharpay-ish. That's for damn sure. And it's definitely not stress from her taking accountability of all the harm that she's done to people. That's for sure not causing her any wrinkles, because the bitch hasn't taken accountability for shit.
Next day, I contacted Chandler police to inform them that Charles' belongings were still at the hotel. I asked the detective if I should go get them, and I was told that they would take care of it. The evidence will show that I asked the detectives, what should we do next? And they directed us that they would contact us in about 3 weeks after their supervisor passed off their reports, and Alex could go to the police station and retrieve his gun.
So you get whacked in the back of the head. You get a little tiny scratch on your head. And the police, yeah, just come in a couple weeks, then we'll give you your gun back. You know, we're nothing to see here, right?
The evidence will show that the last thing I heard from Chandler Police Department until June of 2021, 2 years later, when I received a grand jury indictment from them for this alleged crime. The evidence will show that Chandler Police treated this incident as self-defense.
And object to that.
The objection sustained. The jury should disregard that last statement.
The evidence will show you that my brother, Alex Cox, passed away on December 12th, 2019, almost exactly 5 months to the day after Charles, my husband, passed away. The evidence will show that Alex passed away from a blood clot in his lung.
Objection again.
I'll sustain the objection. It's not relevant for this matter.
The evidence will show you.
they've always said the blood clot thing, but there's just, I don't know. Something about that whole situation. I don't know. I don't know.
That I am the only person being charged with this crime.
I would object to the relevance of that.
Sustained.
Oh, Lori, are you getting mad? You're getting cut off.
As the state has mentioned, they are alleging that insurance money was my motive. Social Security was my motive.
Oh, there's that voice. There's that fucking condescending voice. There we go.
Spouses having insurance policies is not a crime. Collecting Social Security is not a crime. Self-defense is not a crime. A family tragedy is not a crime.
Oh, fuck you, bitch. Straight up. Oh, it feels good to say this. It feels good to say this. She is a horrible, wretched, evil, vile, vindictive, manipulative bitch. Penguin mama all around her.
It's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy.
Thank you.
Oh, no. No. Listen to this. Listen for that. Thank you. Right here.
Crime. A family tragedy is not a crime.
Oh,
It's a tragedy. Thank you.
thank you. Oh. What in the fuck was that? Sadistic, yeah. I mean, I probably forgot 1,000,001. What was that? What was that? Yeah, always groovy. It's so wild. Thank you. Thank you. Let's throw it back. Let's go back to when. So at the beginning of this, I was telling you how it kind of got held up and things got delayed because they were trying to get Brandon out of the courtroom. And a lot of people I saw today didn't know who Brandon was. Brandon was married to Melanie, who is Lori's sister's daughter. So what would that make him? Not her nephew, but married to her niece, nephew. Do they call him? I don't know what they call those people. But let's go here, just because I want to do a little bit more tonight. Tomorrow I'll add in, yes, there's some state witness stuff. I'll go through and detail that, and we'll pull out some stuff from that for tomorrow's recap. Because I'm just going to kind of do like a once over of some of the more interesting pieces of it. Again, I encourage you to go follow Kresha, Difficult Research. Her and the girls are doing wonderful breakdowns throughout this. You will love the chat over there. They're wonderful women. The mods have been dropping their link too, so please do. But this is in regards to the body cam footage after Brandon was shot at. And why this is relevant is because, again, life insurance policies, and he was shot at by Alex. There's not this many tragedies around one person. Yeah, no, sorry.
Hi there. So what's going on?
Someone shut my window out.
Okay, give me a little bit more than that.
Yeah, so I was just pulling in.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed a green Jeep Wrangler.
Okay.
It's like a pukey green
Okay.
color. Had a Texas plate.
Mm-hmm.
I just moved in like a
Terry, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they say that when Alex first shot at Tammy, didn't the gun misfire because they thought it was cold? Is that correct? Or there was some reason why the gun misfired? I can't remember if it was because of the weather, misuse. I think it was something to do with the weather and him not Oh, I agree, Terry. 100% agree.
a week ago. So I
Okay.
thought maybe it was just my neighbor.
Okay.
So as I was kind of pulling in, they lifted their like back window.
Elizabeth, so trial starts at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, so that would be 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Right, tinfoil? Right? Yeah, it would be, so Brandon was married to Melanie, who was Lori's niece, so nephew by marriage.
Okay.
I saw a muzzle. They shot.
Are we talking a real gun,
I don't-
a BB
It's got to
gun?
be like a BB gun or an airsoft.
Okay,
It was
so
loud.
they shot, then what happened?
It hit my window, and instead of turning
So malfunction, basically. Thank you, Krisha.
in, it scared me really
Thank you, Jason.
bad.
Okay.
I thought, I'm getting shot at, so I drove straight. So I
Okay.
drove straight really fast.
Okay.
Pulled around the corner, got my phone out, called 911, sat there, drove a little further up. I watched them come around the corner. and
What do you
start
mean coming
focusing
around
on
the
it.
corner? Come
Elizabeth, I'm not sure, but thank you for being a member for 8 months. I'm not sure why it wouldn't let you.
around corner where?
So I drove up there. I drove
Okay.
to this street.
Gotcha.
Made a right, went a little further.
Okay.
Parked by, there's a park right there.
So he went northbound on that
northbound.
street.
Turned right, and I watched him turn right down here, and I knew there was only one way out of this neighborhood.
Okay.
It was on Pecos and Wrecker, so I told that to the dispatcher.
Okay, so he was on Wrecker. He went, but you don't know if he went onto Pecos. You just know Wrecker
I
Road.
didn't- Well,
Pecos is where Winco's at, too. I know that road.
he didn't get on Wrecker. He stayed on this, and he came out on. He had to have gone out on Pecos because that's the only way.
Oh, he stayed in the neighborhood. He did not go out to Wrecker. I got you covered. Okay.
And I was nervous, so I was kind of waiting because I didn't want him to follow me.
So
'cause I
we
didn't-
don't know where, if he went on Pecos, left, right.
I didn't follow him anymore. I was a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
So the breakdown would be, just so everybody's clear on times, because I had to do my little brain math for a second. It's 10:30 Pacific Standard, 11:30 Mountain Standard, 12:30 Central Time, and 1:30 Eastern Standard. And I think there's a half-hour delay with the live stream.
11 Paul 22, just for information on units, left the neighborhood south toward Pecos and unknown from that location. Okay.
So it was really loud. So
That's really weird, Layla. I wonder why you can't either. Thank you for being a member for 13 months. I don't know why you guys are having trouble with that. Good night, Kathy. Thank you for hanging out with us.
I didn't think it was a BB gun, but it could have been maybe.
Well,
paintball gun.
let's look. So you were just pulling into the driveway. They were sitting here.
Yeah. So I was.
So were they facing then west? Because if they opened the back.
I wonder if that's a setting on my side, Elizabeth. I'll have to ask Duchess and see if there's something I have set up like that. I've never even seen that before, that you can't.
Yeah, he opened the back, and there had been 2 people, I think. 'cause they
Okay.
moved so quick. They were parked right here,
Right, facing that way.
facing towards this van.
Gotcha.
And as I,
Wow, Trace,
my
that's
window was like
crazy.
perfectly blind because I was kind of starting to pull in.
Okay, so you didn't totally pull in yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see my window.
And after this, I'll have to go look for that. But there is video camera footage of them taking the spare tire from Alex's Jeep to the storage unit. And I think it was the back seat of his Jeep, the back seats of his Jeep, they stored in the storage unit too. Oh, Duchess can. That's weird. That's weird that you can. Thank you for being a member for 12 months. And Penguin Mama, thank you for being a member for 2 months. That's so weird. Duchess is, I don't have a clue. Good night, Cupcake. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hey, Denise.
It shattered, but it didn't go through, which means it couldn't have been a real bullet. I didn't think about that.
Oh.
Layla.
Whoa. Hello. Is that
Sorry, my
who's?
car automatically-
Okay, I'm like, what the heck?
I forget that that's my tears. I forget that that's the tier names. Every time someone says it, I'm like, oh God, I did name it that.
Yeah, hold on, I
Group
can
of
get
friends.
Yeah. Is this going to shut on me if I get close?
that. No, 'cause I'll
Okay.
put the key inside.
Well, I don't think that's a BB gun.
Oh my gosh.
One Frank calling is engine 459. It's been holding.
Lynn Packer in a American Crime Journal. Lynn, the guy that did the stuff with Lynn through the Ballard. I'll have to find his stuff again. Lynn and him did an exceptional job. He's out of Vegas.
For over 2 hours.
All right.
District 6.
All right. So it looks like they shot up anything if he's there.
Thank you for being a member.
All right. So you just moved in. Okay. You just moved. Okay. So was this a vacant home at the time?
Previously, yeah. It's
Okay.
a rental.
All right. So
She looks so confused. I'm sorry, but this officer is so fucking confused. Okay, so hey Teresa, I hope you're doing well.
you're the owner though, right now? Or you
I'm
still
the lease.
you're okay, so you're just renting it. Did the
One second,
owners
honey.
of the house, can I open?
Yeah.
Is this, how do you open this door? Go ahead.
Right.
Ah, look at you.
Sorry.
That's pretty sweet.
One Frank 12, Officer Taylor.
Anyway, did the owners of the house say anything to you who was renting the house before you or anything? All right. You have any enemies? Anybody that you?
Just went through a divorce. There was some crazy stuff that happened with her aunt, killed her husband, but I would hope that has nothing to do with this.
There's some crazy stuff that's going on with her aunt, killed her husband.
Did you live here in the valley before?
I've
Where'd
lived
you
here
move
for
from?
10 years.
I'm sorry?
I've lived here for 10 years.
Okay, so you moved, where'd you move from? Here in Gilbert
I just
or?
sold a house over on Quinn, just right by the
Okay. And no issues at work, no issues, enemies or anything?
Zero, Jim.
Other than the only people that I could even think.
I mean, she's so nonchalant about this. The guy just got shot at. And she's like, okay, all right. Well, then. Ma'am, are you awake?
That would be that group. But
The family,
yeah,
your ex-wife's?
Yeah.
All right.
I remember how much this annoyed me the first time I watched it.
It's kind of weird.
Kind of weird, you think? Kind of scary, you think? Amanda was just shot at.
Camera and get some pictures. All right, so you were coming here. Did it look like a long rifle? Did it look like a rifle type?
Yeah, it looked like a rifle or something. Like there was a muzzle. There was like some kind of a muzzle thing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they just lifted up the back gate and shot.
Okay. So they were shooting this way. Okay. All right.
I think the officer fell asleep. She's just taking a nap over here. She doesn't seem too concerned about nothing. Oh, Kimberly. Exceptional job.
Hey, head over this way to the house. I want to show you something.
Oh, did you share some? Can you?
Yeah, I think it might be adults. But yeah, I think this might be a real gun too. Not sure. I just want to show you real quick.
You think it might be a real gun? Oh, Lord. Please tell me she's not called out to most crime scenes. I think it might be a real gun. Really? What would give you the first indication? The bullet hole? The bullet hole.
Right here, right in the street here on Phelps. He was heading westbound, just about to drive into his driveway. And the green
I sped her up so she sounds a little bit more with it. Here, let's listen.
Jeep was parked right here on the side, right next to his house, just west of the house, facing west. And whoever was in the back opened up the back of the Jeep Wrangler, the little...
Maybe she's trying not to stress him. I don't know, but she's very, like, nonchalant about this.
door in the back, whatever you want to call it, the flip thing, and shot one. So the guy didn't make it into his driveway. It shot and it actually hit the driver's window.
You cannot search, Mel, on iPhone for the transcript, but you can on a laptop. It's Control Command F. Once you go down to the bottom, you hit show transcript. You can scroll, but you can't keyword search on an iPhone that way.
Blew out the window. And so the guy got scared and kept driving westbound. And then as he's round the corner.
Crush, are you trying to drop a link for something? I don't know. It might not let you drop a link. Do you want me to throw you a wrench so it'll show up for a minute? I can toss you a wrench and you can drop links for whatever you want. And then you don't have to keep it. But I can toss you one so your links will show up if you want me to. I don't know what you're trying to post, but I trust you. I know you're trying to share something with Kimberly. Hold on. Let me toss you a wrench and then you'll be able to show it. There you go. Now you can drop whatever you want.
That's when the Jeep Wrangler took off, kind of circled in the neighborhood, and then headed toward Pecos. Don't know where. So.
Yes, Emily, we talked about Colby earlier. Colby's he's had his own channel for quite a while.
I'm going to take some pictures. Okay, bye. Where was the window? Where did that land? Because I'm assuming you picked that up.
It actually stayed on my door.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, when I drove around.
So when you got out of your car right now is where it lays.
Because you saw it just opens automatically.
I guess in all honesty, though, the area that they're in probably doesn't see many shootings in the middle of broad daylight like this. So it might just be one of those like, Crush it, drop whatever you want. Go crazy. You can drop whatever you want. I trust you fully.
Yeah.
The window fell off, and so
that's just weird how that opens. That would freak me out.
And don't anybody start putting leave difficult research, Crusha, out of all my bullshit with everybody else. She ain't a part of all my other shit. Leave her be. She's dropping links, important things, important topics for other people. Leave her be.
All righty. All right. So whereabouts, what were you say?
Yeah, Jim, it's like, I don't know what they were expecting here.
Were you about right here?
right here.
Okay.
I saw the tailgate lift up.
Yeah.
Pointed the gun at me. Shot.
Okay, so it would have went.
I heard a loud boom.
Yeah.
My window shattered, and then I just.
Right. I'm trying to figure out trajectory. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, Bobby, take that up with Kyle. He's got a bigger wrench than I do.
Figure out. Okay, there's nothing.
It's stuck in there.
You think?
Well, this is probably just a weird call in general, middle of the day.
I think so.
Absolutely.
That's what I was wondering, but I don't see. It's got to be back in here. I'm not touching. Anyway.
Who's pissed off at you?
Now this guy's got more to him. Who's pissed off at you? Yeah, tinfoil, it does. It does. And this right here, too, was all about money, too. Brandon and Melanie were getting divorced. Brandon had a good job, made good money, life insurance.
He died at their house with the gym. I think I'm involved in it.
Contact at 103 Charles Lobby.
Yeah. Yeah. I was glad that the judge allowed him to stay in the courtroom today. I was super glad that that didn't work. Denny, you might be right.
All right, so he's right about here.
Oh, Layla, is that what she's hearing? I didn't even realize that's what it was. Yeah, it's whatever device she's using. You're right.
Okay, you guys want to go just right over here for just a sec? Let me get some pictures real quick.
Where were you on the car?
This call right here has always bothered me. This always bothered me. But it never, it didn't come full circle until it did.
Now, the green you're talking about, are we talking that type of green?
Like a hunter green? Like a pukey green.
Okay, that's kind of more of a pukey green. Are we talking a chartreuse? I know it sounds like got a gazillion colors, green.
Let me just try and find it on my nest. Look at your nest. He's got a nest.
Oh, fantastic. Do you have your, is that your car registered to you? The driver, or your registration? Okay, I'll just get all your information off of that real fast.
There's even cameras. By the way, I bought a new camera for the inside of my house, a 360 Ring camera that's got two-way audio so I can talk to Hank. That was the only reason I bought it, was just so I can talk to Hank. I'm pathetic. I told you guys our house is like Fort Knox, but not for safety reasons, just for the animals. Pathetic.
There you go. Camel green.
Oh, camel green. Okay.
You're good, dude.
Are
they sending a detective up? This definitely.
I don't know.
Detective should
Is
come
I'm
out.
assuming,
We're still
well,
recording.
oh, I am too. Scott's coming out?
Walk up. Is he?
I don't know.
I think you need to call him.
Well, I
You
thought he
call
was coming. Well, you just said about Scott coming out.
No, I said I would call him.
Oh,
You
well,
want
of
me to call
course.
him?
I thought he was coming out.
Okay.
You calling him? I'm calling him. Who's calling him? You calling him? You called him? Who's calling Scott?
Get him on the radio and say, come on out. There goes a gray. Now, is it I got a.
Somebody just got shot at in broad daylight. Can we show some, like, there's a shooter on the loose here.
Find out 2-door, 4-door. But anyway, get him out here. I thought he was already on the way.
I'm going to walk up and down these streets.
Yeah, see if we
Anybody know where Scott's at?
have any more cameras.
Yep, I'm going to walk up this one and back down.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, great. Cool. Good job. Holy shit. Everything that kind of could have gone wrong did. Poor Brandon. Poor Brandon, really. Fucking ex-wife's crazy aunt and brother, your uncle, are trying to take you out, and they're over here. Anybody know where Scott's at? You call Scott. I call Scott. Who calls Scott? Is it a real gun? Is it a BB gun? We don't know. Oh, it's actually a real bullet. Well, you got camera.
Are you Brandon? All right, cool.
Right, NorCal?
So what would you say, how many minutes before you called us did this happen?
I just called right as soon as it happened.
Okay, fantastic. Now,
Brandon's like, you want me to do your job for you? I know who it was that shot at me. I'm telling you.
were you able to, because you're coming in, they're facing that way, so you're not going to be able to see. When they passed you, when you were parked, would you able to see any description of these people? Is it a guy, a girl, anything? Okay.
I was trying to make sure I had enough distance in case they shot it.
Okay.
You didn't see them.
And you said you saw, when you saw, you could see the barrel. You think it was a long rifle, not a handgun?
Yeah, and it had like some kind of like a silencer or something on it.
Okay.
Oh my, the Preston Lord case. That's another one, Trace. I live right in the vicinity of all of that. You know where the temple and the ALA are? Again, miles.
That's why it's like maybe it wasn't a gun but it was so loud.
Okay.
Can I sit down?
Sure. Do you have I was gonna say, do you have a chair or something that we can get you?
I have some chairs. I just want to sit down.
Okay, sure, no problem at all.
It's kind of hit me, you know.
Yeah, poor Brandon. Like, poor Brandon.
Is there anybody else here? Are you the only person that lives here? Is there anybody here that?
My kids live here with me.
Okay, no other adults. Okay, is there somebody we can call to come here to be with you?
Yeah, in a minute.
Okay, you go ahead and you take your time, whatever you need. Okay, can I get you a bottle of water?
I got one over there. I'm fine. No, just give me I just want to sit down.
Sure, no problem at all.
Here with you, buddy?
No.
Nobody else is here at the house? What do you do for a living?
I own a couple businesses.
Okay.
Brandon. God.
I know I have a lot of questions. I apologize. Is it a 2-door or a 4-door Jeep Wrangler?
Looks like a 2-door.
Oh. And now we got the Emily Pike situation. She was in a group home just within 20 miles of here too. Right, NorCal? Thank you, Crusha. You guys, Crusha is providing a ton of links for deep dive information, like great background information. I see what she's dropping, and there's some amazing things that she is linking in the chat. Thank you, Crusha.
Sure.
Can I get that third one too? I want to do a canvas.
Break 11 or correction, Lincoln Park.
Anybody call Scott yet?
Okay.
11 41.
Okay. When you went, huh? Yeah, you're gonna do a canvas, yeah, and do a line search. As you went down and you got out, you turned north on that street. Okay, how far did you go down before you parked and just?
You know where there's a pool over here?
There. Okay, I'm not real far. It's been a while.
I owned a house on the other side of the street. So I know the
Okay.
neighborhood well. So I just pulled on the other side of the pool.
Pull the other side of the pool. Okay.
It's right there.
All right. And then they passed you by. They
drive by. I thought, well, I'm going to go down this way, make sure they don't come back out and go out this way.
Right.
I had 911 and I told them. And
okay.
As I saw them go down that way, that's when I pulled back in.
Okay.
Poor Brandon's starting to, like, you can hear his voice shaking even.
And then it kind of hit me what happened. And not until you showed me that I realized something.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get some maps and stuff like that. I'm going to be making some notes, so just hang tight, okay? The GMC? Okay, got it.
I'm just glad Brandon's away from this whole group of people. Oh, they finally blocked off the crime scene area. The fucking radio's going. Oh my. Why is there elk bugling? Is that her ringtone on something? Things that keep me up at night. That's what the ad's saying. This type of bullshit.
I'm gonna shut off for now.
Yeah, I can understand why you're shutting off for now. Holy shit. Okay, well that was the body cam footage after Brandon was shot at. Again, Brandon, the reason why I went to that is because in the beginning of today, it was a little bit of a delay because Brandon was in the courtroom and certain people didn't want him in the courtroom, and the judge said, nah, not gonna happen. I don't know where Scott's at. Scott's probably still on lunch. Holy shit. Well, I think we watched enough for tonight. Anybody have any questions? Anything that we need to go over tonight before we end? Again, tomorrow at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, we will be meeting over on, let me see, does she have it? Let me see if she's got it. She probably already has it set up. Do you already have tomorrow set up? Yep, she does. Hold on. I'm going to share it directly for the live stream tomorrow at Difficult Research. This is Crush's channel. I will see you guys over there tomorrow at 10:30 for day 2. This is wild to me. Yeah, I don't know what that elk bugle was. Oh, difficult anytime. If you need just somebody to come on and sit with you or whatever, I will be happy. I know they're anticipating 6 weeks of this, and I know that you are going to be exhausted. So if there's anything we can do to help out, support anything, even if you just want somebody to sit with you, I would be more than happy. And I will not cuss and be raunchy. I can keep my shit together. And I will try to find time when Kyle gets back. Well, I might even be able to do it before, but when he gets back, I will make sure I'm going to try to go down and be in the courtroom a couple days. If I can get in there, I know it's going to be crazy as it goes on, and who knows what we'll end up with, how many people will be allowed, but shit, I can go down at like 5:30 in the morning and hang out too in a lawn chair and just hang out there on the steps. So Trace, I can't imagine having to share kids with, yeah, I can't imagine the mind fuck of any of that stuff. Thank you, Crusha. I appreciate that. Thanks, Bobby, for hanging out with us. I think it was just kind of a good, like, I know that a lot of people, as they're going through this, they're reviewing it, as like professional journalists and true crime creators and like trying to educate people. And I get that. But I think it's also important for a lot of people just to have a space to say, fuck you, Lori. The harm that you've done to so many people and other people that believe in this type of bullshit is dangerous. Like, there are people dying. There are children being abused. There are families being abused, and it's being covered up. And we have to continue to push back and tell people this is not acceptable. And it's happening all around us. The church won't speak up and condemn this shit, but we can continue to. And I'm going to continue to say, Church of Latter-day Saints, you need to speak up loudly. This is not okay. And you're insulating groups like this. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's happening and you know that. You fucking know this. Oh, I appreciate you, Krusha. I appreciate you. I don't really, this is, well, you know that. I dabble in so much stuff. So, Trace, I will try to, for sure. And I will connect with you guys. Krusha, I will send you an email with my phone number so you guys have it in case anybody needs anything, and in case Trace needs something and I'm in the area and can run her something or anything. Like, I'm here to help. So whatever we can do to support you guys. If Kay and Larry need anything we can do. We are here for you guys. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I will see you guys at 10:30 over on Difficult Research. Have a wonderful night. Again, go look at those links that Crusher posted. There's going to be a lot of insane things and rabbit holes. You might get stuck. So, we're going to get through this. It's going to be a long Lori show, but we've got this. We're going to rally around the victims and the victims' families and push back on this being normalized. That's what we're doing. Good night, you guys. See y'all soon.